Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Fight Critic here to give you guys an absolute. I fucking told y'all that Teofimo Lopez was going to expose Vasyl Lomachenko. God damn, last night felt great. And it's not even just from the aspect to I'm trying to be perceived as some type of Lomachenko hater or something, but I go hard for my Brooklyn boxers. That's really what it just comes down to. And when you look at Teofimo Lopez, I gotta go hard for somebody like that. He was the better boxer. He looked better in the ring. He looked better in all aspects of how you score a fight. And for a lot of people who want to talk about the scorecards, look, that 119, 111 score, that 119, 109 scorecard, I really didn't agree with it. But 117, 111, 116, 112, 116, 112 is the closest you could make that fight. That fight wasn't no damn draw. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, Andre Ward. That fight was no draw. And when you look at just how the fight kind of played out, and I gave people the blueprint on what you got to do to get it an opportunity to beat this man. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that, you gotta fight him like an Orlando Salido and things like that. Salido's game plan worked for him at the time that he fought Lomachenko because Lomachenko was vastly inexperienced in the professional ranks. And the way that he had fought as an amateur wasn't going to be the type of style that was going to work in the professionals. But for Teofimo Lopez, and I said it since 2018 that Teofimo Lopez was going to beat Vasyl Lomachenko had they fought. I've been saying it for 2 years. And I told the brothers in the Lions Den that he was going to beat Richard Comey because I said he was going to beat him by knockout because he was the younger, faster fighter and his punches look better. He doesn't try to throw punches off balance like Richard Comey does. And everything that he does from a fundamental aspect is completely crisp and sharp. So when he fought Lomachenko, and I told people since 2 years ago, him fighting Lomachenko, the reason why he was going to win is because Vasyl Lomachenko is a pace fighter. A lot of people like to talk about his boxing IQ. A lot of people like to talk about the angles, the footwork, the speed. Vasyl Lomachenko is good when he has the ability to set the pace to a fight. When you make him fight at a pace that he can't turn things up a notch, he has to actually start to think about how he's going to actually fight. And that is a weakness of his. Not to say that he doesn't have boxing IQ, but he becomes more predictable. And you saw that last night with fighting Lopez. And Lopez came out from the start, from the first minute of the first round. He was going to land body punches. He was going to take away the center of the ring from Vasyl Lomachenko, and he was going to force him to be on the back foot. He said it before the fight. He said, I want to see how Lomachenko does fighting off his back foot. And he proved it. There is nothing nobody else can sit there and say about this performance by Teofimo Lopez other than it was the absolute perfect game plan to fight Vasyl Lomachenko. He got into the ring, and one of the things that was really, really ballsy about the way Teofimo was fighting was he fought in a Philly shell against a southpaw, which is something that you definitely do not recommend. Anytime that you've watched a fighter that really publicizes a lot of the Philly shell style, whether it's James Toney or Floyd Mayweather, when they fight southpaws, they fight in a high guard because when you fight in that stance as a Philly shell, you line yourself right up for the left hand by your opponent. But it was much different this time around when you looked at how well he was fighting him. He was fighting him in the Philly shell, not because he was afraid of the left hand, but he was catching and shooting out of the Philly shell. And that's something that you kind of saw as the fight went on. And that's something that I actually saw as a disadvantage to Vasyl Lomachenko. Vasyl Lomachenko looked lost trying to lead with his left hand. Everything had to come behind the hook, the right hook, or the jab, which is why he landed way more jabs than Teofimo Lopez did. Lopez just focused on landing hard body shots. And the only time that he tried to land jabs was either to give himself some room in case that he was circling around, or if he wanted to drive Lomachenko to the ropes and then land power punches. But when you look at just the fact that he was able to take away, he took away the distance from Vasyl Lomachenko. He fought him on the inside, something that Vasyl Lomachenko still to this day looks like he struggles to fight guys on the inside. He will try to put himself in a high guard and try to maneuver out and try to land punches, but he's not good fighting on the inside. And for Teofimo Lopez, he exposed a lot of things that were a disadvantage to Vasyl Lomachenko. And at this point, I know a lot of people want to call Teofimo Lopez the undisputed lightweight champion. I'm going to reserve that right until he beats Devin Haney because of that WBC title, that franchise title. I don't consider it to be a world title in my book. But for him to have all the remaining belts, to be the lineal champ in this division, and he does it dethroning a reigning champion who was seen as the best fighter in the sport, and he does it convincingly, in my opinion. Yo, Teofimo Lopez is in the top 5 pound for pound. You probably might have to put him in the top 3 after this, especially after they hyped up Vasyl Lomachenko so much. I've been telling people for the longest time that Teofimo was going to win this fight. And everybody's just like, oh, it's just wishful thinking. Oh, the angles by Lomachenko. He's going to download the data. He's going to recognize it, and he's going to expose Teofimo Lopez. And I was just like, no, dude, he's fighting somebody for the very first time that is just as fast as him, that has just as good as hand speed as him, and who's bigger than him and younger than him. This is not going to be a walk in the park for him. Lomachenko is not Floyd Mayweather. You know, he's not a once-in-a-generation type of talent like Floyd Mayweather. There are levels to this. And last night, once again, proved that a guy like Floyd is miles ahead of Lomachenko was at his time during the lightweight division. You know? And, you know, moving forward and just trying to talk about what could be next for him, as Teofimo Lopez, I should say. I think ultimately he'll probably get a couple of title defenses in, you know, get his mandatories out of the way, and then you'll probably see him then go back and, you know, try to take on a tougher fight. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what happens next with Devin Haney, because Devin Haney, he's not in the best position right now in terms of what we want to see out of him in the lightweight division. And he has to fight a guy like Teofimo Lopez. I think it's a good fight. I'm not going to pick a winner yet, obviously, but that's the type of fight that we all want to see happen. That's also the type of fight that is going to give us clarity as far as who is the real champ in the division. And I think when you know, all is said and done, this division needed to move forward with new blood. And I'm happy for, you know, Teofimo Lopez, especially last night for him putting Brooklyn on the map. And I almost wish we could have gotten this fight in New York, yo. If they would have put this fight in the Garden with 20,000 people in there, yo, I would have been right there, yo. Just hands crossed like I told you. God damn, that felt good. But yeah, I'm going to catch you guys with another one. If you have any more questions about Teofimo Lopez and Vasyl Lomachenko and why I picked Teofimo, what I saw out of the matchup, let me know. I'll do an in-depth review on it. But congrats to the new champ. You know, I'm going to say he has 3 belts in a lineal strap. I'm not going to give, you know, that type of recognition to the WBC that he has. But for him, 3-belt unified champion, lineal champion in the division. And right now, if I'm him, I take 2 title defenses and just call out Devin Haney all day. All day.